This is Eric Ndagaya, the super director, and kama kawaida, this is the cinema and theater break show. And today we have an amazing show lined up for you guys. People at home, tuliwaambia hii show ni yenyu. And today I have an amazing guest. He has been there in the industry for the longest time ever. And this guy has more and many insights about the industry. Anajua hii industry in and out. And today we're going to be talking about a couple of things that are happening and to let you know what is happening in the industry. And this guy doesn't need any introduction. He doesn't need any introduction. Tumemwona kwa screens, films, and so many things. Karibu sana, Chris.
Oh, you mean?
We're talking about Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Thank you.
Chris Kamau.
Yes.
Wow. You're a brand, by the way. You're a brand,
okay.
A big brand.
If you say so.
If I say so. Karibu sana kwa show.
Asante.
It's good to have you here.
Bwana Mshefa, huyu ndio binti yangu mkubwa. Aisha, huyu ni Bwana Mshefa.
Lakini kama Bwana Mshefa anataka and I won't do it.
Huyu boyfriend wako?
Hapana, he's just a friend.
Hadi unaenda hivyo. Aisha.
Please, Bwana Mshefa, don't.
Yani mchana mtupu.
Pengine unaweza kuelezea kwamba mimi ni tafala malkia wa Uingereza.
So you've grown into a handsome young man? It must be because you've taken after me. Can't be after your miserable dead mother.
Tumia vidole vyako kuchana hiyo nywele yako. Nataka kukusaidia kushinda hiki kiti.
You should know your place. Eh? Or I'll remind you. What? Stupid woman.
Wow. So let's talk about unajua watu wanakuona this, they've seen you on television and so many gigs, but they don't understand where did this all start.
Now we have to go back to those stories of hapo zamani za kale. What is very interesting is when I was very small, I can say that acting is in my blood.
Okay.
Ever since I could maybe possibly crawl and speak. I've always had a love of entertaining. I was that kid when my parents would have a function or something. They'd call me to do something, recite a poem or dance, something, that kind of thing, because they knew I was a very outgoing child.
Yeah.
And that's something that has always been part of my nature. And when I was very young, I was doing like modeling for kids, fashion shows, calendars. I was the last kid on the blue band when we had them kebe, not exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And that kind of thing. I've never been shy, as it is. I was never that kid of hiding in corners. I've just been a very outgoing person ever since I was a kid. So it was just natural for me to fall into these things. And I was fortunate enough to go to nursery schools where they encouraged the arts. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. And like for me, I just view you as like Morgan Freeman, our Morgan Freeman. I view you as our Morgan Freeman because you're doing a lot of projects. Is it that you're so good, or there are no other good actors? What?
Actually, I'm the oldest person in the industry because this is genetics, by the way. But it helps me get a lot of roles because they look for that look of the salt and pepper, which is not that easy to find.
Yeah.
And I always say that for me, I'm the original Peter Pan. I'm young at heart. 24/7, 365. And it's not a question of I'm perfect or I work hard at my craft. And when people engage me in whatever activity, they know that they'll get a person who's reliable, a person who is punctual. I'll be there on certain time. I'll know my lines. I'll be able to take direction. Because one of the problems that we have with the youth, especially the youth that are entering into the acting industry, is they think that they know it all. And that is why you have somebody called a director who directs you.
Yeah.
And regardless of what you think you know, always listen to the director.
Yeah, sure.
And always look at any acting experience as both a learning experience and a teaching experience. As in, you'll never know everything that there is about acting. Even till today, whenever there's a big production happening, actors as big as Denzel Washington, Robert De Niro, they have acting coaches till today, because no one production is the same as the other. And if you feel at any one point in time that you've reached the apex, then leave, because there's nothing more to offer.
Wow.
As Denzel Washington was asked once in an interview, was told, "What is your best role?" And you know what he said? My next one.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. So let me understand this. So you say that it all started as a passion, and you've never been shy within, and
Yes.
you went to a nursery school that. So pursuing it professionally. So when did it start? That you decided that I want to do this professionally.
Well, when you have a passion for something, and you know that you've been born to do something, it's very hard for you to do something other than that you have the passion for. So when I was in nursery school, I was that kid who was always, when the kids are sleeping, I'm awake, kind of thing. I was kind of like a rebel. I was the noise maker in class, that kind of thing, because creatives always feel that they have something to share with the world.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's not at the most appropriate of times. During class prep and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's just something, it's like a fire that's burning inside you.
Sure.
So I was fortunate enough to go to a nursery school where they nurtured the arts.
Yeah.
Then I went to St. Mary's School, where they also were very, they had a very interesting curriculum. I think they still have till today.
Okay.
And that is, it's a very wonderful thing. What they do is, St. Mary's School will find that one thing that you're good at. If you're not good in sciences, you're good in arts. If you're not good in sciences and arts, you're good in athletics, that kind of. But they'll find what it is that you're good at. Exactly.
Wow.
And they had a history of, I think they still have a tradition of school musicals, and taking part in like the Kenyan National Music Festival. And so I was very, very actively engaged in those things. And then when I left St. Mary's and I went to Boy Forces Academy, I was also involved in the arts as well. And then, in fact, I was in charge of entertainment over the weekends. So I went to great lengths to ensure that everyone was entertained. You know, get the video machine, get movies for the guys over the weekend. And then when I went to, when I finished school, I took a very interesting trajectory. I went into music. I was part of what would then be referred to as Kenya's sort of like Boys to Men, called Five Alive, which was a precursor to groups such as Sauti Sol. And then at one point in time, we had, we really tried. I mean, those days we had social media. We tried, because I think at our album launch at Carnival, we had like about 10,000 people.
Wow.
It was amazing.
It's a lot.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
And then we got partial scholarships to go to Berklee College of Music. This is Berklee with an L-E-E. This is in Boston, Massachusetts.
Wow.
And it was very interesting because, like in my case, I am not music literate. When I look at music, I just see black children jumping over fences. But I have a very interesting, I guess, kippah of some kind. That I hear things in my mind. I hear entire songs and sections in my mind. So if I'm with somebody who can write music or play the keys, and I can tell you it goes like this, that kind of thing. And I collaborate with a lot of people on that kind of thing. And so what happened is we realized that Berklee has a very interesting psychology. They say that anything that produces music is an instrument. So would you believe it? That my instrument is my voice.
Your voice is an instrument.
So I actually used my voice, which it qualified as an instrument, to get a partial scholarship to go to Berklee College of Music. So when I went to Berklee College of Music for about a semester, I discovered very quickly there's a reason why it's called Berklee College of Music. It's a college of music.
College of music.
As in, it's entirely musically based. So you'll do musical theory, you'll do everything, and of course the practicals and all kind of, like studios and all kind of thing. And they're so music centric that Berklee can actually look at you and understand that you're a musician and you need to take time off to go and tour, do a gig and whatever. And that doesn't interfere with your studies. They'll give you time off to go and do what you do as a musician. Because at the end of the day, it is a music college. So when I was in Berkeley, I did a very interesting course in something called musical theater workshop, which marries drama and music. And when I did that, I guess I could say I found my calling, and my calling was actually in acting, theater.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, I'm here hanging out with the award-winning actor, and we're still here at the Jukua Lounge. And remember to catch every episode pale Boda TV, and remember to download the StarTimes app if you want to watch our show. And remember also to follow us on social media, and the hashtag to use is hashtag the CTBShow. Ask us the question that you need us to talk about, and the guests that you need us to bring on set, we're gonna bring them. Don't have that time. Coming back in a short while. Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Cinema and Theatre Break Show, and I'm still hanging out with the boss himself, the award-winning actor himself, Chris Kamau. Yeah. So before we went on a break, you're talking about the way you were trained. You were trained.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that applies here in Kenya?
What I would say is, like I said, there's a method to their madness.
Right.
It's a very different kind of training, and it involves things that are very unconventional. I mean, like for instance, one of the things that we were asked to do is before the midterm break, we were told to choose an animal, any kind of animal, and then whatever animal you've chosen, over the break you go to the zoo, you look at that animal, how it behaves, and then adapt what that animal is. And then when you come back after the midterm break, the lecturer will come to you and tell you what animal do you choose. It's a lion, okay, now be that lion. Now what that means is you literally become that animal. As in from how it licks itself to how it rolls, and as in if our parents were to walk into that class, they think that it's a class of mad people. Because they're making noises, they're doing things that animals do. But the reason why they do that is animals have got no inhibitions. Animals are just animals. They are what they are. They have no preconceived notions. So if you can turn yourself into an animal, you can be as honest with yourself being that animal, then it's a little bit easier to become an actor. Because an actor has to open themselves up to the various influences, to what the character is or who the character is. That's why it's always important to do your background, your homework. Because the problem that we have here is you get a script and it says you're John. So now you become John. But who is John? Does John have a wife? Does he have children? Is he an orphan? Does he have parents? Does he have a criminal past? Who is John? So you have to literally become John. Because one of the problems that we have here with our actors, and this you can, because we did Shakespeare as well. With Shakespeare, every single line has what you call subtext. It's not just what that line is, it's what is underneath that line, what is informing that line. So we had exercises such as like, look at the line, then what is the subtext? If you can find what the subtext is, then that is the true nature of the role of that character. You see? But here nobody has the time. Subtext, you see the line is this, that kind of thing. No. And the thing is, you can see people when they're remembering their lines. Because like when you're watching a local production, and you're like, oh, yes, how are you? Good. It's good to see you. Yeah. I was. People don't do that. People don't do that. Or like when a production is going on, they're like, it starts and somebody's like, I'm thinking. Time. I'm annoyed. No, don't do those kind of things because that's what happens. You see, but for some strange reason, that's how we allegedly act. And to act, the literal meaning of to act is to be. And that means that to be who you are, to be natural. You see? But we have a problem because everybody thinks that they know everything about acting, and that's never the case. You should always be open to learning, as well as if you have the knowledge, teaching. And that's why on every set that I go to, I'm very keen to learn something new. Or if I have the knowledge, I impart something new. No two experiences on sets are the same. And I always endeavor to make sure that I left the set better than when I arrived on it. Because you always have, even recently at an audition, you always have some joker who thinks that the class clown, for want of a better term. There's one audition I went for recently, and this guy came out and he said, okay, all of you can go in now. And that was never the case. So imagine like now 50 people just go in, and there's confusion inside there. But this was the person who thought that this was their moment to shine. And something like that, let me assure you, that person will never work in this industry. Because with that kind of attitude, first of all, you're wasting the time of the people who are there, including the people who are auditioning, the auditioning panel. And it just shows that you're just not a team player.
Wow, amazing. And basically, I was seeing on your social media something that you're doing behind the scene, a film called Insulo.
Yes.
There's something, probably you can share something about that.
Okay, there is a talent academy. It was Marshall's Talent Academy. And they have the first class is about to graduate, and they've got various campuses around the continent. And so they're doing student projects. One of them is Insulo, which is a film that is done entirely by the students. The cast is recruited by the students. We also have the crew is comprised of students. It's students that are doing every single thing. Even some of them acting as well. So now the thing is to make sure that the students know how to do a movie production from start to end, which means that they negotiate with you, they give you the script, the director is a student as well, the editing is a student, the scoring, all that kind of thing. And so it's going to be premiered at Nairobi Film Center, formerly Nairobi Cinema, on the 7th of August at 10 a.m. And it's going to be one of the candidates from the various campuses, because there's other campuses as well. And it's one of two films that were done here by students. Exactly. So I was fortunate enough to be approached by them and act in the movie.
So you're part of the cast?
Part of the cast. Yes, and there's a possibility I might be doing something else in the future, still to do the movie. And in addition to that, currently I'm involved in PR and communications for something called the Kenyan International Sports Film Festival.
So let's talk about that. So what is it all about?
Okay, what it is that there is actually a sports film industry. It may not be as big in Kenya or in Africa as a whole, but it's actually there globally. And there are people who do films that are primarily dedicated towards sports. They do documentaries that are sports oriented. They do biopics that are sports oriented. They shoot mobile content that is sports oriented, web content that is sports oriented, and this you find through companies such as like Red Bull. They sponsor a lot of what you call extreme sports, and there's a whole industry that is centered around sports. And this is something that was discovered by our chairman, a gentleman by the name of Mr. Asif Karim, who is a former international cricketer. In fact, he's a captain of the Kenyan cricket team. The time when Kenya was really riding high cricket. And he attended a film festival. I think it was in India. And he discovered this niche for sports films. And I was like, wait a minute, how come Kenya, being the home of champions, as they say, or Singishu, St. Patrick's Iten, all the people that come from there, especially athletics. Why is it that we don't have this culture? We don't even document our own sports heroes. So he decided that he's going to do the inaugural Kenyan International Sports Film Festival, which was held last year at the Louis Leakey Auditorium, Kenyan National Museum, for a period of 4 days. The award ceremony was held at Aspire Center in Westlands. And we had quite a few entries. We had about like 3,000 entries, which we had to whittle down to about 192, and then went down to about 22 finalists. And it was very well received. And the second edition is happening this year. from November 21st to 24th.
Okay.
We're still getting entries coming in right now. Working out a few logistics here and there.
Okay.
And you have to realize that this is the first time, last year was the first time
Yeah.
that the sports film festival was held not only in Nairobi, Kenya,
Yeah.
or East Africa,
Yeah.
but on the entire African continent.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how do people, filmmakers out there and want to participate in this, how do they make their entries?
You go to Film Freeway,
Okay.
look for Kenyan International Sports Film Festival, KISS, and Film Freeway is a platform that everybody who does movies knows about it because it hosts a lot of film festivals.
Yeah. Sorry, you can take that again, the link?
Yeah, it's a Film Freeway.
Film Freeway,
yes.
yeah.
So Film Freeway, if you go to Kenya International Sports Film Festival,
Yeah.
it has KISFF.com.
Yeah.
It has a portal that will lead you to Film Freeway.
Yeah. Okay.
And all submissions are free.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Just make sure that the content is primarily sports oriented.
Yeah.
The thing with film festivals, when people see a film festival and submissions are free, they enter everything to do with everything.
Yeah.
But it's a sports film festival. So please, your content should be primarily sports based.
Sports based.
Exactly.
Wow, amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
And this year the second edition is happening,
Yeah.
and we hope that it keeps on getting bigger
Yeah.
and better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. So before we wind up the interview, so probably you can just share some insights. You've been in the industry for a while now.
Yes.
So where do you think we are right now?
I think where we are right now is we're at a tipping point of some sort.
Okay.
Because the government has embraced what you call the creative economy,
Okay.
of which film is a major part of the creative economy. And recently, the CS in charge of ICT, Honorable Joe Mujero, issued a statement to the fact that they've been considering taxing commercials that are foreign, that are airing over here. And this is something that would be a step in the right direction, because there are a lot of foreign commercials that are airing over here. And there used to be a time, very many years ago, where even if it was a multinational, they would have their commercials shot over here, which is providing employment for local talent in terms of actors, directors, crew, tertiary services like transport, accommodation, all that kind of thing. So that's a step in the right direction. And when you watch certain digital platforms, I'm not going to mention them, but you see commercials that are really not relevant to you because first of all, they're talking about a foreign currency, foreign rates. They even say that this skin product is formulated for a special type of skin. They even mention the type of skin, and it's not Kenyan. And you're wondering, why am I subjected to this sort of neo-colonialism, for want of a better term? I don't mind watching the content. But can like Communications Authority of Kenya come up with a way that they say that the commercials, we don't need them here? My parting shot is always believe in yourself. Never give up on your dreams, no matter how difficult it is. If you've chosen to be an actor, then be an actor. That means that you're a creative. So if there are no roles happening, create your own roles. Nowadays, the technology is there for you to even create your own YouTube channel. You can create your own content and get it out there. Nothing is controlled by the major networks, per se. And just be the best you can possibly be. And always know that the only person that you can ever disappoint and disappoint entirely is yourself.
Westman once said that you cannot change the world, but you can impact the world. And that's it from the Cinema and Theatre Break Show. Thank you so much. Until next time, God bless you so much. I've been your host, Eric Mdagai, the super director across every platform. And remember, the hashtag is hashtag the Cinema and Theatre Break Show. Follow us at the CTBShow. And also remember that you should download the StarTimes app to watch our shows. And also remember our episodes, Ziko pale YouTube. Until next time, God bless you.